Dungeons & Dragons and other similar tabletop role-playing games are host to a myriad of things that go bump in the night. Mind Flayers are what you get when you hand Wizards of the Coast an H.P. Lovecraft book and tell them to make it kill your players. Mind Flayers get their name from their tendency to snack on human brains and harvest their psychic energy and fear. Mind Flayers in D&D are hell-bent on a carnivorous destruction and enslavement of other lives. But the Mind Flayers that we're going to be looking at today is the idea that Mind Flayers might be able to sustain themselves in a real world. First things first is food. The average human brain has 2,706 calories inside of it, and a growing, developing human teenager only requires 2,800 calories per day. A illithid that is no longer developing would easily require less than a brain daily. Assuming that they can catch and kill wild food as well as devour human brains, they should have no problem with getting enough food to sustain themselves. A diet supplemented by fish, due to their squid-like heritages, would easily give them enough food to develop, grow, and become adults. Illithids do not reproduce naturally. Instead, all illithids are genderless and lay a clutch of eggs once or twice in their life from which tadpoles hatch. These illithid tadpoles are left in a tank of brain fluid to feed off of each other as well as the brain fluid for a number of 10 years until they are taken out and put through the ceremony known as ceremorphosis, in which they are put into a host and turn it into a new illithid. Very few tadpoles survive to experience ceremorphosis, and as disgusting and eldritch as it sounds, it seems possible. What immediately comes to mind is the parasitic disease cordyceps, which hijacks the brains of insects and uses them to reproduce with more insects. And honestly, thank God Mind Flayers don't exist, because if I found one of these things anywhere near my eyes, I would rather it not exist. Much like humans, Mind Flayers are social creatures, which makes sense since both are humanoids that exist in large clusters. They both probably evolved from creatures that, lived in families or packs, similar to monkeys or even wolves for that matter. Mind Flayers are likely to either travel in large moving packs, like wolves, or in families that each take a smaller subdivision of a large chunk of land that belongs to a tribe of Mind Flayers, almost like how bears take up big swaths of land and defend it territorially in families. Illithids are genetic abominations when it comes to physiology. They've got many abnormal features, like large, hyper-light-sensitive eyes that lend themselves to a nocturnal predator, similar to an owl. This trait is most likely gained from a deep-sea-dwelling abyssal ancestor, like a vampire squid or viperfish, most likely prehistoric in nature. Due to evolving into the illithids, something tells me that they wouldn't exist alongside their ancestors. Another trait of illithids is the 4 large, muscular tendrils sprouting from their face that they use to force live prey further into their lamprey-like mouths. This trait is likely derived from some kind of squid or maybe even a cuttlefish. this is a lamprey's mouth. Disgusting, I know. This is what the mouth of an illithid actually looks like once you get past the tendrils and octopus-like head features. Now, I have no doubt that this thing could chow down on some soft human brains, but all of those rows of teeth in front of the secondary set of teeth are probably for grinding away the skull so that they can reach the brain. The safest bet for a realistic illithid ancestor would probably be an octopus. They've got all of the traits, the tendrils, the mouth, the eyes, and intelligence to boot. Them becoming communal land creatures wouldn't be too surprising given the current theory of the way that humans evolved.